G'day gamers, this is D20 Warbear from D20tales.com. This video tutorial we're going to show you how to make a quick redstone clock that has a 5-minute timer on it, using nothing but blocks out of vanilla Minecraft, and then I'm going to show you a more advanced version, which is also going to use a cobblestone farm and a command block. So stick around, we'll be right back. And welcome back. So now the way this works is we're using a game mechanic that's built into Minecraft, and this is the more advanced version of it with a different version clock, slightly different, but we'll get to that in a sec. So the way the clock works is anything thrown on the ground like that will last for 5 minutes before it disappears, and that's obviously the basis for the clock's timing. Now it'll disappear obviously if someone comes along and picks it up, but for the most part it'll stay on the ground until 5 minutes drop and then it'll disappear. So the way this works is you have a dispenser up here that's got 59 or however many blocks you've got in it. This has 59 at the moment. A few bits of glass. There's basically like a big letter C around it and a redstone torch with a pressure plate. What happens is the dispenser spits out a block when the redstone signal is sent up to it. That in turn lands on the pressure plate, which turns off the redstone signal, and then 5 minutes later when the block, whatever's there, disappears, it will then repulse, send another signal and spit another one out. So what I'll do is I'll grab one of these very quickly and just show you that's the actual stone disappearing, the redstone signal disappearing. So now this design here, you'll notice, doesn't have that very top row on it. I just noticed as I was making the video that there's actually a slight bug in that a couple of times the blocks that were being spat out would actually go and sit on top of the glass, and so I put that up there just to prevent them from doing that. There's another big couple of videos out there that have a very similar design to this, but instead of using glass around the space that I've got, they actually put a block in that middle space. But the problem is that there's a change in the game mechanics, and if you do that, now what will happen is you'll actually see the block will spit like 8 random different directions and different blocks. Rather than dropping down, it'll only drop down very randomly, so it's pretty useless. By doing it this method, it just makes it a bit easier. You'll also notice I've got 3 blocks of glass up on the actual clock, but I've got 4 in my bar. You need 4 to put this block on easily, and I'll switch over to game mode 0 so that you can actually see it being done in the method I do to actually build it when I'm actually building it in normal adventure mode, or not in creative mode, in survival. So okay, so it's actually really easy to make. So what you do is you put 1 block down, 1 block down, and 1 block down in that shape, and then you put your plate down. And the only reason I do that is because you're about to use the side of it to attach a lot of stuff. So 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. 2 along the top, and now using the side of this, we place 1 block down here, jump up on top, grab our dispenser, plonk, and that's it. That's the first part of it. That's the main part of it done. Alright, so shift and click, and that's the glass on that side. Shift and click, and that's a glass on that side. Now that's it. That's fundamentally, and we place a torch down after we've actually filled up the inventory of the dispenser. But what I'll do is I'll grab that there, put that in there so it's ready to go. So that's it. That's it constructed. You run your redstone signal, your dust, anywhere off either of these 2 points here, and because the torch that you put down, which triggers and starts the whole process, will actually feed it. Now what I do is I personally like that one gone. That's just me. So I'll show you it working. So blink, drops it down, turns the signal off, and that's the start of the 5-minute timer. Now when that disappears, it drops another one down and it repeats. If you have a wall, for example, behind you, you don't need to build any of this side of it. I only build it there because it's freestanding. If you've got a wall, you only need to build the ring and this block of glass here. And I'm using glass. I'm using black glass just simply because it looks better. That's it. That's a 5-minute clock. It's as simple as that. So now showing you really quickly the more advanced version of it, I'll just quickly put this up here. so that it matches. So that's basically the same clock as that. What you'll notice is I've got a redstone signal off here that comes down, and it feeds this piston, which works on our cobblestone farm. So there's a track of water comes down here, there's a cobblestone in there. When this pulses, it sends all of this along the line, and then the water and the lava create another cobblestone and fill the block in. So that just wash, rinses and repeats every time. So to do the 5-minute signal, this is the line that comes off here, so that's a 5-minute timer. Now over here you'll notice I've got 4 redstone lamps. Don't worry about the guy in the background, it's just a chunk loading. And so each of these torches is a point of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So what happens is, as the block's created, it gets pushed along, and as it fills in this gap, it closes a circuit and allows the signal to go through, so you can then have it create the pulse the next generation. Same thing at 15 minutes, 20 minutes and 25 minutes. Alright. Now this last one is a little bit more interesting, and the problem with this clock is that the cobblestone clock, the farm, is only capable of pushing out blocks, I think like 12, it's either 8 or 12 blocks, I can't remember, but whatever the distance is, when it reaches a maximum, that's it. This mechanism stops working. All of these clocks are running and you don't really have anything worthwhile. Okay, so it just becomes an on signal and it's annoying. But what I've done is I've created a command block in here with a little circuit. So when this pushes forward, it closes this circuit, which sends a signal around to the redstone, which basically sets a block of air right there. Now I can just quickly show you what that looks like by placing a block. See, it instantly disappeared. And that's how I keep this compact and also set it to what I want it to do. Now if you wanted to create a reset, you can create several command blocks, or you can use the command block tool with minecarts and actually just delete them all. It depends on how long you want the clock to go for. You might have something that you want to pulse every 30 minutes, in which case you create your 30-minute up to this line, and then you put your command block one section one block over, and then basically you just expand it however long you need. If you want to reset them all you need to do is get rid of all of these redstone signals along. So say for example you want the clock to just pulse a command every 30 minutes, delete all of these, make that one block at the end here, and then make your command block at the final bit, destroy all of the blocks in one hit. Or you can have multiple command blocks and each one triggers more. It's up to you, there's a couple of different ways. So what I'll do is I'll actually fly up in the air so you can have a good look. It's also probably worthwhile surrounding that with stone so it doesn't keep catching fire. But what I'll do is I'll fly up, you have a look at the whole thing and use it to map out what you want to do. So as you can see, that's the layout using the cobblestone farm, auto generated. Of course you can always come along and just mine the cobblestone yourself if you want, which isn't the worst idea. You can set up multiple pistons and have it shunt through and create walls and do all sorts of stuff, but I personally I just like having it set up like this to use to create these extra timers. The other versions of this clock that I've seen, they've linked several of them together to make a clock. The only problem I found with those is that the signal that comes out from one of the torches in it when you've got them strung one torch, 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 is that they're on. They never actually turn off until the end of 15-20 minutes, depending on how many sets of these constructions you've got. So you don't get a true pulse as such. It's just on or it's off. You don't get that on off really quickly. So I actually think this is a much better method. It's a little bit bulky, and you can change if you've got mods running. For example, if you've got the greenstone redstone paste mod, you can shorten a lot of the and there it triggers. It shortens a lot of the redstone signals by being able to control where it turns and stuff like that. If you've got some of the industrial craft, and as you can see in the background, the pipes that we've got you get things like wireless redstone blocks which you can put down, which means you don't have to have any of the redstone dust. You just have a little bit of redstone magic to be putting down with the wireless blocks. So yeah, anyway, I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it interesting and exciting. I hope you get something out of it, and hopefully you're going to like the video and subscribe. So yeah, we'll catch you next time. keep rolling.